They're just breathtaking. It's just wonderful.
Well, it does sound like you live in a glorious place, so that's really terrific. And I know that you have a special topic that we're going to be talking about today, which we haven't discussed before. But before we do that, I'm going to spotlight you, and I would love for you to just share about your work as a pet psychic and a trainer and a speaker, and what it means to you to be able to help others.
Well, the last part is you really hit on my heart work, and that's what this is. I do a lot of pro bono. I do a lot of free stuff. That's what we're doing today. Is I want to educate people to be their best steward on taking care of their animals, and I can do that with a lifetime of education, not only hands-on with all types of domesticated, but also with wildlife, tigers, bears, that type of stuff, all kinds of things. I worked with a skunk for a long time, and I was like, wow, that must have been smelly. Well, the skunk was missing its scent sac, so we were pretty safe. So I have a plethora of experience and education. I want to help you communicate better. If I walk away with helping you with one thing, and that is to understand your pets better, understand your family dynamic better. So, what's the best pet for you? If you're in a condo, maybe getting a German Shepherd isn't a good idea because you have no yard, but maybe you're a jogger. So, these are the things we're going to talk about and that type of stuff. What do I hear? Is another big question, and that depends on the problem in the conversation. You have free will. Your pets have free will. If they don't feel like it is healthy for you to know certain things, then they won't. And it's rare. It's rare, but it has happened with a young girl that was a foster child, and so the dog later told me what happened, that the foster parents had actually killed him and had him put down, but they told her that it had run away. But this grown woman, who's now in her 30s, didn't need to know that. That was unnecessary. And I was told that it was unnecessary. So that's why I was told later, just to fill in my own education. I help where I can, and we work on it together as a team.
Thank you, Amina. That was a great share. I appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about cats. And by the way, I'm surprised by the number of people I interact with on a regular basis on this programming, and people who have many cats, not just one, but the 2, 3, 5, 10, they're all crawling around the place. I always thought that dogs were the most popular pet, but I'm not so sure now. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, popularity changes every single month, every single year, and then every single generation. Because believe it or not, the exotics I have outstripped the cat and dog. So everybody's they're getting everything that they shouldn't. Ferrets are very popular throughout the United States. In California, I believe they're still illegal. You're getting tarantulas, you're getting a lot of reptiles, and that type of thing. Hedgehogs, they've been popular for, I don't know what, over 10 years now. So they sleep all day. So, and they're very, very sharp. I'm a handler. I have handled them 100 million times, probably, because I taught the public about them. I went to public events, and I would hold some of the hedgehogs to explain this does not make a good pet. and if you can't see my hands, but you have to have really gentle hands because they're spikes. You think of a porcupine, this is just a littler one. But if there is a way to hold them gently and to not get injured, and I never was injured by them or the porcupines I worked with. Those I kept a little bit more distance. And no, they do not shoot their quills. That is a Disney thing. That is not a real thing. It doesn't happen. They can push them out and release them from their skin. That is not the same as shooting. Don't think bullets.
So noted.
If you're at a good angle, like the side or the front, you're good. The same with the skunk. I promise you will smell for days and days and days. And tomato juice supposedly does work really well, a tomato juice bath. I personally have never been skunked, but I've been around many dogs and cats that have. So back to your question is, pets are very exotic now. Everybody wants something new, different. And I don't recommend it ever. Wildlife should never be kept as pets. That is why there's wildlife sanctuaries. We had at the sanctuary I worked at, we had a lot of Hollywood retirees. We had this beautiful, absolutely stunning lion, and he was raised as a cub. So taken away from his mom and dad and all that kind of stuff, and raised with humans. And he absolutely refused to do anything movie star wise. So he came to a sanctuary, and of course he's beautiful and lovely, and I got to spend every day with him. But that's not a life. That's not the life he should have had, and that type of stuff. So we had a lot of hoarding situations that came to us, and we had medical research animals that came to us and lived out the rest of their lives. With chimpanzees specifically, it was a huge problem because they had huge emotional issues with the way they had been treated and that type of stuff. Hyenas a little bit different. And if I'll give you the tidbit, I always try to leave you with a note of little do you know, in a hyenas, it's the female that's the pack leader, not the male. So watch out.
Wow, who knew?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the fun things that keep us animal people thrilled. And yes, I've had a lot to do with snakes, rattlers, and otherwise. And I've got great pictures to freak out all my family members. So
Let's move into cats and the specific topic of declawing them. And I know that there's some facts, and then there's a lot of misnomers, and you're going to clear it up. So if we could start off with what is declawing and what the purpose of it is, or not the purpose, and go from there, that would be great.
Yeah, no, that is really where you're going to come. People adopt cats, and again, they're not educated, and or they feel they're in charge, and they're not feeling like, oh, we're adding a family member. Some people adopt animals across the board. Cats and dogs are our example here. That are their subservience. They are going to do what I say, when I say it, and how I say it. And then they use corporal punishment. And what's that? Corporal punishment is just what it sounds like. You're hit, you're smacked, something's thrown at you, you're thrown outside. You can't come back until you can behave better. And thinking, okay, you're talking to somebody who speaks, I don't know, pick any language that is not yours. Is not your first language, your second language, your second. If somebody spoke to me in Russian, I'd go, what? And I look at their body language, because as an animal person, that's the next thing I'm going to do. But a lot of people don't. And then they go, I don't know if I'm supposed to come or have lunch or leave, or, and you try to go off the tone of their voice. Animals are the same. They have body language, but you can learn it. There's literally a million trainers out there that will help you, like me, that will say, okay, if a cat takes his fur and sticks it all out of his body, or a dog, stand still, get calm, because if you run, you'll lose, because they will chase you, and you've just now become, prey, and or whatever you did to scare them or whatever. I would suggest you calmly, as best you can, back up slowly, get out of their line of sight. Whatever you're doing, they're warning you, because if they've growled at you and their fur is all out, this is a warning. So slowly back up. This is the stuff we teach. But if you don't know the language and you adopt an animal, we're getting there. So with a cat, they require to stretch their nails. It is part of how they stretch. It is how they live. And that's the only way they understand to keep their nails trim. So this is really, really important. And I just finished a series on my Facebook page, so please join me on that if you want to see any of these videos. And I used a plethora of resources. Jackson Galaxy, absolutely love the man. He does My Cat from Hell. I actually had a client said, "Oh, I can't watch him. He hates cats." No. That's not what that title means. It means that people think their cats are from hell, and he steps in with knowledge and love and compassion to teach us how to do it better. So I brought in all of these resources, and I got a very old video about a whole group of veterinarians who are pro clipping the cat's nails. It's not the nails. So if I'm going to use my hand, so I didn't wear braces today for a reason. So we have a knuckle here, knuckle. So a cat, the same thing with the nail attached. What happens, and you'll see in the video, is they actually cut this. They cut this. They cut this. All of these are cut. So if you could walk without your toes, maybe you didn't need to be born with them. If God in the world decided that you didn't need your fingers, then you could be born without them. If you're going to amputate perfectly healthy body parts, there's going to be huge repercussions. And the repercussion for a cat is that they cannot walk comfortably. And I mean excruciating pain. Saying the word comfortably is so under explaining. This is excruciating pain for the rest of their existence and their life. The quality of their life from the moment they have one toe cut. It happens sometimes if they get it trapped somewhere, but it's just tragedy. Sadly, I saw this in the wildlife sanctuaries, and people would keep mountain lions or other animals, big cats typically, as pets, I guess you could say, or their treats or their entertainment, and they would come in with no nails. And it's like watching somebody that's had their foot amputated in half. I can't imagine. I've only seen that once in a human, and they just flop around and they need canes and they need crutches to walk. The cat can't do that, and they don't walk on their back feet all the time. So what happens with a cat is their spinal cord collapses in section. So it's too much pressure from the front not getting supported to the back. So you're going to have horrific pain, arthritis in whatever's left in their bone and their structure, in their shoulders, in their back. It's a miserable existence. It didn't have to happen because the human couldn't bother to teach its cat not to scratch on things that they didn't want, like furniture. They need to stretch their nails. So the pet stores and every swap meet I've ever been to has cat trees and posts, and it's wrapped in jute, and you can rewrap it and carve it, and you get them in tree houses, and you get all kinds of ways, and boards. They make cardboard ones, and they're beautiful. They make them decorative and everything. That's what you need in a house. So you redirect. And I'll give you a tip that I used on my lazy boy chair, because I had a new cat join us. And the first thing new cats were doing was going to the back of my lazy boy chair, because it was in the middle of the room, and said, "Oh, cool, this is a great place to scratch." And I went, "Oh, no. And you know what I did, Jacalyn? Simple thing. What would you do to the back of your lazy boy that would get them to stop scratching? Pretend you're all the public out there listening. Tell me anything.
So I would protect it. I would put on a cover, maybe. I would move it to another location. I would keep the cat in other areas that maybe, if this is really important to me, or maybe I give them a toy that they can use to climb up on and keep themselves busy. All the answers are wrong, aren't they?
And all are terrific. Wow, boy, I really educated you. I'm going to take credit. We haven't talked cats. We talked about your dogs. But all of your ideas are perfect. Move the chair, do this. And some people go, no, it has to be there. It has to be here. Now, my living room is situated in a place where I don't have a place to put it up against the wall because there are windows. And so I'm worried that the chair is going to go through. But also, I recline a lot. So you need that room, and the cat can still fit behind. But if I have a cat tree, which we do, but sometimes the new cats, they come in and go, "Oh, look, this is the same." No, it's not the same. So I took box tape, 3-inch box tape. I don't care if you get 2 inches, but you just got to put more. And so I made strips of box tape across the back of the chair. Now, my chair is not leather, and leather should be okay. It might leave a little gum, but mine is fabric. And so I took the tape, and yeah, it doesn't last forever because it's fabric, but you roll it over, and I put it around the edges also, where anything in there. And I didn't have to put them right next to each other, because all I needed, it didn't matter if it was a gap or not, because cat's not going to find that one teeny little gap. If your cat does, then you've got Einstein on your hand. You're doing something else. But accidents do happen. So I put 3 strips down the back, and they would hit that crinkly paper and kind of get stuck when it was on the back of my chair for like a year, because I just ignored it after a while. It's not obtrusive. It's clear. It was free-ish because I already bought the box tape on a roller. And the cat doesn't want to put their nails in anything unsecure, unstable, might keep their nails there so it was still sticky. And they're like, oh, this sounds terrible. I don't know what this is. This is not fun anymore. So I took the fun out of it. I took the ease out of it. All the things you said were completely right. Excuse me. And you want to create it so it's uncomfortable. Put a bunch of boxes back there. I could have put a bunch of shipping boxes. I could have put a bunch of paper. Now, if I had to put the grocery bags that are paper, no, that's a game. But they're in the bag, not on the chair.
Right. It just goes to show you that there are options. You just have to be creative and think, how can we coexist and have it be safe and wonderful for everyone involved. So that's great advice. We're going to take a break and hear from some of our sponsors. I have a little promotion that I'm going to just put out there, and I'm just going to show this. I'm hosting an online seminar, and this is open 5 people, the first 5 people, including Aminah, if you want to be one, the first 5 people who email me, I'm going to put my email address. It's Jacalyn at drjacalyn.com. Can attend this session. What is this session? It's the power of listening, part 3. You do not have to have taken parts 1 and 2 to take part 3. It's actually quite cool. One of my guests, and now a friend, she's my vocal coach, Madeline Chan. She and I are going to be leading this 90-minute interactive session where you will use your breath, your voice, and your listening skills to take your listening ability to another level. And also, Aminah, you're going to love this, move from a 3D matrix capitalized world into a 5D matrix heart-centered world. So again, if you want to be one of the first 5 people to email me, you do not have to pay to register. So it's Jacalyn at drjacalyn.com. All right. Thank you very much. And now, that being said, we're going to hear from Madeline Chan. We're going to play her music video, which I love to do. And then we will play another clip, and we'll be right back. Here we go. Stay with us on Pet Psychic Aminah's show. Here we go.
What you giving me is just not enough. I need a love to take me higher and higher and higher. Every step I take, I feel more awake. Getting closer now, I feel so alive. Stopping me, this is how I live. Ever closer now. Just follow love, and love will take you there.
back, everyone. You are watching USA Global TV or listening on Business Talk Radio. Wherever you are, whichever way you're watching, listening, we are so happy to have you. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show is presenting Pet Psychic Amina. And our topic today is declawing cats. So in our first segment, we talked a little bit about how torturous that is to the poor animal and some ways of being a little open and creative that you can alleviate the need to do this and not have to worry about your house being destroyed.
Absolutely. And if I can leave everybody with only one thing they remember is that please don't do surgery that's not necessary. Every surgery that we have, people, animals, anybody, you talk to the people in the wildlife industry, it's highly dangerous. Anesthesia is a risk for everybody. And so doctors do it very carefully and very methodically, and vets are no different. I've seen the same. We lost wild animals that were perfectly fine. They went in for one of our tigress. She was a mom, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. Went in for a dental cleaning, and she had cardiac arrest right on the table, and we never got to revive her. So it happens, and I don't want that to happen to your pet. So think about, okay, if I can't convince you that to amputate a perfectly good foot, toe, hand, whatever, we're talking about the toes right now that hold the nail. And if that is something I can't convince you of, maybe I can come at it another way and say, are you willing to risk the anesthesia? Now it's safer than ever. Don't let me scare everybody that necessary surgery is really important. But if it's necessary, there's a decision. Oh, I got a heart, I got a this, I got a, spay or neuter is so simple now. They really use a very, very easy local. It's quick, it's fast. They got it down. If you don't have to have surgery, would you volunteer? Would you volunteer yourself to have your nails cut off so that you don't have to trim them anymore? So if you wouldn't do it to you or your children or your mother or your dad or whatever, please don't do it to your cats, because they have the right to the same quality of life that we expect for ourselves. Why we are so passionate, animal people are so passionate about catch and release. And I've talked on it, just touched on it. And what that means is a stray cat, there's not enough owners for the pets that we have. Ask any of the shelters. And what they do now is they have feeding colonies, and some people don't understand, well, why are you feeding them? Well, so they don't decimate the bird population and the other natural habitats, that because I have now 50,000 carnivores running around who need to eat. So if they're fed, they're also trapped and caught, and then they're spayed and neutered and put back. Now, why do we put them back? Well, because there aren't any homes for them. They would sit in a shelter and eventually be put down because the shelter runs out of space and runs out of just a place to put them. So once they're spayed and neutered, we still have to deal with them eating a lot of things, but they're being fed. On top of that, we've eliminated the two biggest problems: more cats, more dogs, and more decimation to the local birds and natural habitat. People think, oh, they can walk your dog and don't worry about picking it up, or the cat can go out and use the outdoor potty. Well, unless you're feeding organic food that is all meat and vegetables, then your cat's, dog's waste is not biodegradable. It'll be there in 10 years, I promise. And that is a responsibility that we all have. Same with, don't cut your cat's toes off, and they just do the front ones because that's what they stretch with, because you don't want to trim their nails, or you don't want to take care of that or teach it otherwise. And that's what we're going to talk about next, is how do you teach it, not just taping on the back of a chair and that type of stuff.
Thank you, Amina. And I was wondering that if those, I don't know what they're called, but the cats climb on them, and I thought that was to help them with their nails.
They're called cat trees. And they come in every color, every size, every price range. I always recommend go to the Goodwill. They don't sell them at the dollar store, sadly, but they do the cardboard. I talk about the dollar store now. I guess I'm going to have to change that because I heard the dollar store is going up from $1. Anyways.
Yeah, I think it's like $5 now. I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, there goes that. But at the Goodwill, you can get old furniture, sure. But what is the confusion? I can stretch on that one, but I can't stretch on this one. Well, a cat tree looks very specific for a cat. It's got little cubbies so they can hide and go to sleep. And our cats do that. We also get them usually for us. We don't get them towers high. We get them as high as our windows so that we can push the cat tree up to the window and they can just watch all day long, everybody coming and going, and they get used to the trucks. We're on a little bit noisier street this time. And so the big UPS or something trucks go by. It makes them a little bit more calm because they're like, oh, nothing happens. They just go by. People walk down the sidewalk. It's like TV for cats. But guess what? It's free. You just, and we open the window most of the time, but we have secure screens. If you don't have a secure screen, please don't open the window because out they go. And I've seen people do that to get them. Yeah, exactly. See them Tuesday or whatever day you decide to come back that the neighbors aren't feeding you anymore. And that kind of stuff. So yes, I am a very, very pro indoor pets, indoor cats specifically. Dogs go out on leashes. That's a different thing. If you're on a ranch, you're probably letting them run around. Cats should be indoors because they decimate the bird population. They decimate the native animals that are around because they're cats. They want to chase them. They want to get them. Now, I live in an area where we're very, very heavy with vultures. And if you know anything about vultures, I happen to absolutely adore them, of course, but I've also studied them and done presentations on them because people miss the story. They kill nothing. If you know anything else about vultures, all of them, whatever country they're in, they kill nothing. So what's the logical question you want to ask me, Jacalyn?
Not the question, but they must be scavengers then.
They are the vacuums. They're the ones who clean. So yes, I love the idea. I did a whole senior project on this in college. Is that that and the little sea dragon? We'll talk about the little sea dragon later. They're only in Australia. They're adorable. Anyways, but the vultures only eat carrion. They only eat the dead. So they clean the maggots. Their heads are bald for a reason. So the maggots have nothing to hold on to. The pests have nothing to hold on to. But their entire world is about cleaning up what has been left behind. And it helps the soil. It helps other animals. But once that's all done, the vultures step in and they take care of the carcass and all that. The bones go to ground. So they are truly just an amazing part of the whole system of life, middle and death. And then going back to soil because the bones are left behind and they'll biodegrade into the soil and create what the plants need. There's a plan here. It's all supposed to be circular.
I did not know that, Aminah, and you just gave me. You are. It's amazing. Guess what? I have an idea. You and I can do this together. We're going to go on Shark Tank. It's going to be Vulture Vacuum. They suck up everything.
Yeah, but everybody's afraid of them because they look so funny. But if you were eating carrion, which is dead things, okay, carrion is a word for the dead sheep, dog, horse, whatever. They put their head in the cavity to get the juicy stuff, heart, liver, or
going in.
I'm gonna have to use CPR after this on the camera CPR. So they're going in. That's why they're bald. Eagles are not that because they're white. It's not bald, but they are because the maggots can't hold on. The bugs can't hold on. Exactly. And they are susceptible. They have a beating heart and blood and all that. And the maggots are like, oh, yay, warm and fuzzy. So they have no feathers. So they can reach in and get the real nutritious meat. And they will get that first before it rots and the ants and everybody get it. And then they take care of the rest. And you'll see a whole flock will be on a large animal. You see them on elephants, you see them on deer, on wherever there, because there's vultures in all parts of the world.
You know where else you see a lot of vultures, at least here in New Jersey, not where I live, but up on the major highway over a landfill. Actually, it's in Florida. I think it's in Florida when you're on your way to Disney World. On the left-hand side, there's a huge landfill off the turnpike, and there are vultures everywhere.
Well, and they're dropping food, and people throw away all kinds of food. We are the biggest wasters of food. And I've had food poisoning long enough to know, because all my family says, don't eat that. And it's like, yeah, but it's still good on this end. And I'm like, yes, and we're going to get, anyways, I'm the vulture wannabe. But I don't stick my head. Okay, we're going to stop there. Anyways, but yes, and animals go there to eat. You'll get strays, cats, dogs, mice, rats, and they'll die there. So there's plethora of fresh meat for them, but it's a really great thing because they are put, all the enzymes in their body are built, they have high acids in their body to break all that down, and that's why they can poop outside, and a coyote can poop outside and it's not a problem, and a sheep, and it's all grass and hay anyway, but your house pets cannot, because they're not eating squirrels and rodents, and vultures are eating guts and all that kind of stuff, and all of that. It's two different things. So I'm bringing up two different big pet peeves with the animals. We want to understand who they are, and what they can or cannot do. Why do I always talk about a dog is a pack animal? So in your family, you want to be the pack leader. That's really important, because otherwise your dog's going to run all over you because you don't have any control. I don't know about you. I don't really want my dog pulling my kids' diapers to get them to go to bed at night. Here, come on, let's all go to bed, or something like that. And cats are very independent. They will walk away from families that they don't feel loved or supported, and that. And I really early on in my career of publicity, I worked with a woman. She's in another state, who she's moving in a week, and they've been planning this move for 3 months. So she sold the house, boxes are out, and the cat runs away. So the moral of this story is, you want to know the cat's name, Jacalyn?
Yes, I do.
You're dying to know, I know. Because
what is the cat's name? Tell me.
Never.
Never? You're never going to tell me, or the cat's name is Never?
No, the cat's name was Never. And I'm thinking, what? So she named this cat. I don't even remember anymore because it's so long ago why she named this cat this, but it's a negative connotation even when you say it. So I'm
right,
thinking,
there's nothing uplifting about that.
No, there's nothing. It's not Fluffy. It's not Flower. It's not Bob. It's not. There's. And I said, what? And she actually said, well, actually, we only call him that part time. His real name? I said, oh, okay, it gets better. Maybe.
Wow.
So I said, do you really want to know why the cat ran away? Because you've made no commitment. Maybe? Never? Did you ever say it together? Oh no, just one or the other. But we call them maybe most. Are you kidding? So I told her, I said, you want this cat back? Oh, but I love him. Well, he doesn't know that. He's just out of here because he sees the boxes. So I really gave her all that. You got to leave your garage door open this so he can come back on his own if he chooses. Put food out. I need you to walk the neighborhood, put your scent everywhere, and put out good energy. And for God's sake, change his name when he comes.
Change that name. Aminah, I always had heard, I'm sorry, I always heard that pets should have 2-syllable names. Is that true?
No, a hard consonant is really all you need. I understand why you were told that, because it resonates more in your chest. It resonates more like Toby. There's toe and B. Great, Toby. We had a Thomas, if you want to really pull it apart. But if you call him Skip, it's a happy name. It's pretty cool. You could put the S and the K and cheat and say, I just put 2 hard letters together. So there is wiggle room in almost every recommendation. And you need to take your lifestyle your communication style, and what you're capable of yelling across the street if they get out. Because if you name them something really terrible, like you're yelling the neighborhood, maybe, could you imagine what the neighbors are thinking at this point?
I was going to say, people are going to
Maybe
think
what?
that you're right. Maybe, shut up. Maybe. What do you mean, maybe? Maybe.
Exactly. It's like, what did you have what was in your Kool-Aid today? But I told her, I said, it's just, it puts out the wrong energy, and animals are all about energy. Why psychics in general are very, very close to nature is because we try very hard to be open and generous and loving. And sure, we have bad days, but just say, okay, you be you, whatever that is, and whoever that is, and that type of stuff. And with an animal, it's the same thing. They don't care how you smell. I think I've told you, I had a client, older gentleman, and the dog came up and said, he smells funny, but he's mine.
Yeah, I love that.
Heart medication. He drank like a sieve beer. He didn't shower, I think, ever. I stayed distant. And I'm thinking, good for you. Because guess what? The dog only cared that he was a good man to him. And they had a loving relationship. And he knew he had medical issues and a few others. But they love us because we showed up. But maybe come.
I
you can
agree.
even see the story on my Facebook page and that kind of stuff. But totally off topic, because you're my buddy too on this subject. Sorry, everybody, you're going to have a buddy moment. But I had a client who asked me to talk to their cat that had run away and died. And I got to talk to my first spirit animal, and they had moved on to the next family that needed them. And this couple was really in a good place. They didn't think so, but the kitty did. And so they miss him. But they wrote me the most beautiful letter of thanks.
Aww.
To get them through that pass, and I put it on my website, because it's just it just summed up that you wonder, don't you, Jacalyn, with all the stuff you do here, you wonder if you get through to the really important things that you want them to hear. And like, you would never have known I loved that song on your commercial until I started dancing. I didn't even remember the camera could still see me, because this music is very organic for me and very moving. And yes, when a pet goes by, I don't hear anything anybody else is saying. I'm just looking at
the pet
and that kind of stuff. So just those kind of things, it really, really matters. So if you get a chance, I know you're swamped and busy, but it was so touching, because they didn't just say she was wonderful, she was great. They were specific about, we really got down to the spiritualness of it, and what the path that this cat was on to the next family that they were needed for. And this couple had gotten through their tough time. And then, of course, I connected them up with some of my social connections that could really help them move forward as a young couple. And I'm blessed to have those connections.
Well, I think what we'll do is next week when we come back, I actually will have found the letter and I will read it aloud on the show. How does that sound?
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Yeah. And the way they articulate it is just like, wow, I couldn't even, it's lovely. It's just lovely. So
that means a lot.
I'm honored to be blessed with it and to be able to share it.
Well, and you deserve it. That's beautiful. I'm going to spotlight you, and if you could share the best way for people to reach you and who should reach out, that would be fantastic.
If you are looking to adopt, if you're looking at end of life, these are things I'm have a whole lifetime of experience. I also talk to not just pets and people that have passed on. That's a gift I was given, and I would love to help you. You can be anywhere in the world. I have clients in Europe, and all we need is a phone call. We can get on Zoom. It is free to do so with me, as far as with a paid appointment. So bridgingworlds.us. I'm on Facebook, and I do a lot of sarcasm and a lot of education. As I said, I just finished a campaign with over 2 weeks to talk about not cutting the tendons and your toenails off of your cats and all the detriment that is. So please be well, be wonderful. And if you need anything, bridgingworlds.us, and we'll find that communication together.
Thank you so much, Aminah. It's been a pleasure seeing you, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your weekend.
You too. Take care.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you again, whether you're watching on the live or you're watching on the replay. I have two things that I'm promoting for next week, and both of them are really in an effort to provide wonderful information and key learnings. One I shared already, and I'm just going to go through it briefly again. I am the listening mentor. I'm a certified coach and mentor, and my role is to help people have better communications, more effective conversations, deeper relationships, and really better relationships, connections with people in their lives. And how do you do this? Through authentic listening. And so what I do provide are online seminars. We have parts 1, 2, and 3. Part 3, this is the first time we're offering it. It's a collaboration between Madeline Chan. And if you've been watching our shows, you see that I play her clip called Follow Me, the music video. And we're teaming together on October 19th. And if you're interested and you're one of the first 5 people, I haven't checked email, but if you're one of the first 5 people to email me today only, the first 5 people, here's the banner, you can attend this session for free. The value of the session is really $197 or more. I'm trying to make it as cost effective for people to attend, so it's $57. But for you first 5 people who email me, you will not have to pay any fee to register, and you'll get to interact with a lot of really cool people who've already signed up. Okay, so that's the first thing that I wanted to mention. And the second thing I want to mention is we have several new shows, and one of our new shows is coming up on the 22nd. It's called The United Kitchens. Let's take a look at a trailer that we put together, and then I'll be right back. Hello and welcome to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and also welcome to our friends on Business Talk Radio. You are watching a trailer for The United Kitchens. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and I am privileged and honored to be working with 2 amazing chefs to bring this show to you on October 22nd. Our show features 2 wonderful people from different places in the world. Let's bring them on. We've got Ricky McKenna joining us from Texas, and we've got Simon McDonald joining us from Scotland. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Ricky, do tell us what we can expect from you on October 22nd.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. I am Ricky McKenna. I am a certified nutritionist as well as a chef, and I have been preparing food for as long as I can remember. I'm also going to be showing you easy to prepare meals and delicious, of course, how to use some old-fashioned gadgets that will save time and energy and help you understand what food is. It's food for thought, as well as wonderful food to put in your mouth and help your body be healthy and wonderful. Join us from Texas.
Thank you, Ricky. Yes, the great state of Texas. And joining us from Scotland, Simon. What can we expect from you on October 22nd?
Right. Hello, everybody. I'm Simon McDonald. I'm in the beautiful West Highlands of Scotland. Magnificent place, full of history, full of heritage. Now, do you know how to use one of these? Or a smaller one or a bigger one? Do you know how to sharpen them? I'll teach you. I'll show you. This will help your kitchen skills enormously. And I'll also show you with traditional foods, modern foods, coming with the heritage and the background of Scotland and all our flavors that we have for you.
Thank you so much, Simon. And for those of you wondering, how can you watch our program? Well, we will be live on 11 different platforms, and then we'll become a podcast on 6 others. But the best way is to go to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV, and you can subscribe and watch this fabulous show and all the other shows that we have coming for you. So we'll see you then. Thank you so much from the United Kitchens and the Mad Hatters. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you there at the United Kitchens. And I have one more trailer to play for you. You're probably wondering what I do on weekends. You're watching This is what I do in my life. This is a trailer for the online seminar I just mentioned to you, The Power of Listening, Part 3 with Madeline. So a little bit more information for you. And again, the first 5 people who email me will be able to attend for free. Let's take a look and then we'll close out for the day. Take your listening skills to the next level with the Power of Listening online seminar. Hi, Dr. Jacalyn here with award-winning artist Madeline Chan, and we have teamed up to bring you this fabulous course. It's called The Power of Listening, the union of breath, voice, and communication. Madeline, what can you tell everyone about this course?
Absolutely, Jacalyn. Right. For going on this course, it will enable you to connect to your inner voice. Your inner voice is the voice that expresses your passion, purpose, belief, your innermost desires, your dreams, aspirations. And also it will help you to become a leader, to become strong in your voice, to voice out what you want to voice out, nothing more and nothing less. It will also give you the ability to be able to breathe correctly, to help to improve your health. There's a lots of fun as well. We've got role play as well, haven't we, Jacalyn? We've got role play.
We do. So the divine universe has brought us together because my area of focus is helping you be better listeners. And Madeline is an expert. She's a vocal coach. She's a performer, and she is very intuitive. So she will share with us the power of your voice and breathing, and together we will help you be a more effective communicator. So how do you get access and get involved? You can go over to Eventbrite to book your ticket. In the search engine, just put in The Power of Listening Part 3. And we'll see them there, Madeline, October the 19th.
Absolutely, Jacalyn. We will see you there. Don't miss out, everyone. Honestly, now is the time. Connect, discover your inner voice.
Woo! We'll see you there. 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. British Summer Time. The Power of Listening, the union of breath, voice, and effective communication. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
There you have it. Lots of information to give you something to think about as we bring our wonderful desire to have world peace. That's really what I'm about, Madeline's about. And if you imagine that we were all better listeners, we were able to listen without judging, listen without trying to jump in, listen without, I have a better story than yours, listen without, I can't wait until they shut up so I can say what I want to say, listen without looking at your mobile device and being distracted all the time. There'd be so much more peace in the world. So I'd love for the first 5 people again to email me, Jacalyn@drjacalyn.com, and you can attend without paying anything. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed weekend. I thank everyone who was on our show this week, and always thank you to you, our loyal following. Bye.